In today's video, I'm gonna be revealing how you, watching right now, can go out and make your first $100,000 in crypto without trading. Yes, without trading. Now, there's no need to hope for random meme coins, there's no need to hope for a random 100x, and there's no need for those buy low and sell high moments, because in the next couple of minutes, I'm gonna be giving you the exact 5-step roadmap that I personally and everybody around me took to make their first 6 figures in crypto. I know what you're probably thinking. How can I make my first $100,000 in crypto without actually trading? Because this is what I see everywhere. The truth is that I don't blame you, because just a couple years ago, I was in the exact same position that you're in today. I was broke. I had nothing to my name. I was staying up, working. I was even joining Telegram groups from people who I thought knew what they were doing. And every single night I would tell myself, one trade, that's all that's needed. Just one good entry and basically everything around me changes. But you want to know the honest truth? It wasn't trading. I was basically gambling and with the Discord server open. And as the bear market back in 2022 was settling in, something clicked and I realized that the people actually getting rich in crypto are the ones solving the problem. They're the ones that are not digging for the gold. They're the ones selling the shovels during the gold rush. And after that realization, I started paying attention to the big names in crypto. The ones that were flexing the cars, flexing the watches, flexing the freedom. And what I realized is that none of them were actually good traders. They were running agencies, managing talent, they were building communities, they were doing growth support. Basically, all of them had one thing in common. They weren't winning traders, they were solving problems for the founders building real projects. And those projects, they had money. And I mean a lot of money. And around this time is when I realized step one of the 5-step roadmap in trying to make your first $100,000 without trading. Crypto isn't a casino. It's an economy, one that not many people have noticed yet. And when I finally understood this, everything in my life shifted. Because once you stop treating crypto like a slot machine, you start seeing the money that's been sitting in front of you the whole time. Everyday projects, everyday founders need designers, projects need community managers, teams need editors, growth people, PMOs, people who handle operations. The truth is that crypto is filled with businesses that need help. The core problem, though, is that too many people are sitting here. They're staring at charts. They're wanting to make money because they believe that trading is the way to make money. And the truth is that does not work. The moment you flip that switch in your head is when you stop chasing pumps, is when you realize that there's opportunities everywhere. And once you realize that, I basically moved to step two. Step two is basically knowing there's an economy isn't enough. You need to get inside of it. Once I understood that crypto was an economy, I made it my mission to get inside the rooms where things were happening. Not to pitch, not to beg, not to spam my services, just to understand people building the real stuff. I joined every major Discord, every Telegram, every X community I could. I commented under every founder's post. I was joining spaces every day, making content. I became a very familiar face with a lot of the companies in the space without asking for anything. Because here's the truth. In crypto, opportunities don't come from resumes. Opportunities come from recognition. People pay the names they see everywhere. And once people started recognizing me, that's when step three became possible. Now, you see, in step three, the goal was very simple. Pick one skill to solve one problem. You don't need to be trying to learn multiple things. Just simply pick one. It could be designing, could be editing, could be branding, could be marketing. I know people making money in all of these industries. But like I said, for me, it was marketing. And it doesn't matter what skill you want to start with. What matters is the consistency. Once you show up in the right circles with one clear strength, people start associating you with that strength. Right? For example, I'm known as the marketing guy, right? That's what I want to associate myself with. And once people start associating you with that skill set, basically that leads you into step four, the part that everybody gets wrong. Step four is basically where you turn your skill into an irresistible offer. Once projects knew my name and they knew what I was good at, I crafted an offer that solved a real problem that they were actually struggling with. Not a, hey, here's my services, go buy from me. Hey, I'm just a freelancer, I want to join as your CMO. Talk about a real offer. For example, instead of saying, I'll manage your socials, I basically would come in and I would build an irresistible offer. Like, hey, for example, I'll grow your project's X account by 10,000 followers in 90 days or you don't pay. The goal always is outcome over effort, right? Because to be honest, most crypto founders don't really care how long you work. They care about whether you can move the needle or not. It was at the stage that founders started DMing me and opportunities started coming inbound. Everything shifts when you get recognized, when you build an offer, and when you surround yourself around the right circles. But none of this matters unless you hit the final step. And step number 5 is basically investing in skills, mentors, and rooms that will multiply you. You see, once money started coming in, I didn't blow all of it in super flexes like most people would. Instead, I spent it on mentorships, masterminds, better circles, sales training, crypto business strategies. I learned from people who were already making 100,000, 500,000, $1 million plus in crypto. And every time I invested, I 10x my investment. When you invest in yourself, you skip the mistakes, you stop the guessing, and you start scaling. So yeah, everything I just showed you is the exact blueprint that I basically took to go from broke, not knowing what I wanted to do. Now, if you're watching this because you want to get a real spot in the crypto space and you already have a project but just don't know how to get attention to it, that's where my team comes in. We basically help projects scale from zero to hero in a matter of a couple of weeks with our battle tested systems. So if you're building something and want more eyes on it and momentum, book a call with myself. If you're building a business, feel free to book a call with myself. I'm happy to give feedback on it. And with all of that, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.